So I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, so I'll touch up some of the basic things and then I'll just go for the question and answer. Right. So basic things regarding the data analysis, right? But a shorter version, and after then we can have a described thing like we can have a different session on the stats. We will share you the feedbacks as per the feedbacks. What are the topics you are looking for? We can input the topics there, and accordingly we can just plan our next sessions, right? So in the previous feedback, we got something like for the basic stats. So I would cover. I'll not able to cover whole thing for 1 hour. Like nearly, I'll cover some of the things because I need to take a questions as well. And then in the next session, we can have a different session for the stats where we can cover some of the parts of a stats, right? So hope everybody is good and doing well. So how many of you are planning to go to IIT for Paradox? Right. So couple of you are going, right? Couple of you are going. That is good actually. It is a event where you can just go and enjoy the life. I will suggest you all to just visit and just go there and take a experience, right? In campus exp on campus experience. So it will be good because these things you will not get it again when you are just graduating or when you are those who are actually the professionals, right? Those who are having a job in their hand. So for them, it is a good opportunity to be in a college for 3 days and just rewind their college days. Okay, so yeah, great. Okay, so I'll just so for next, I think half an hour. Just don't disturb in between. Just whatever the questions you have, just keep it in your mind and just take it. Raise the hand, so I'll take the questions later. So just let me complete a short thing and then I can just uh, take your questions, right? Okay. So I'll share my screen. Okay. So it is visible for all. I hope the screen is visible. Just give a thumbs up. Okay, great. We will go with emojis only. We will not unmute yourself, right? Except me, nobody can unmute yourself. Everybody can give a emoji, so I'll just come to know, okay, everything is fine. Okay, great. So this is something like a interactive session. After completing some of the points, I'll ask you to unmute yourself and then we can have a discussion on the particular things, right? So first thing I want to include here, I will start from a very basic things, right? Some of you have a doubts. So from this might be it will be clear. I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay. Okay. So first thing is that we are frequently discussing about data, right? We are frequently discussing about data, right? So what you people think about data? Unmute yourself, some of you, and just let me know what you think about data. When the word data is coming in your mind, what you are thinking?
Numbers.
A lot of
Structured
information.
information.
Not just numbers, maybe pictures also at times
Collection
can be
of
called.
One by
informations.
one. One you can input in yeah my chat also one by one. So it's
Fact.
yeah. Tell me.
Facts and figures, sir.
Okay. Facts and figures. Yeah.
Collection of information.
Collection of information.
A lot of unorganized information.
organized information. Okay, fine. Some more options or answers. Some more is there. Some more answers are there.
Metrics
Anything,
and records.
What? Sorry.
anything that anything that can be recorded uh, to make some decision.
Okay.
Bills and queries.
Vincent queries. Yeah. Next. Next thing. Somebody has written echo.
Statements.
Voice equal. Oh. Oh, voice is equal.
Statements, variables.
Right. It's okay. Fine. So, this is what you are saying as a data. So, if I want to define a data, somebody like intentionally, you have observed something in between. What I did, I unmute two of the devices, right? So, what happened? Then voice is coming from one voice and echo is coming from one voice. So, this is knowingly I did it, right? So, what happened with this? What I'm saying, like what you people are communicating, right? If you are just saying something or if you are communicating something, if you are sharing me information, right? So now the information is clear at all. But when I unmute the other device, there is a information plus echo, right? So what exactly here you are seeing? So there is observation here. Okay, I'll just put these things aside. Okay. Okay, so what you have seen, I'm giving you some information or plus sharing some data. This information is not shared by me, it is shared by you as well. So I can write you and me are sharing information. And with this sharing information, there is something is lost. Something is lost. So means some information is lost. Why this information is lost? This is lost because of echo. So I'll just interpret the things now. What exactly is the data? Data is something like what you are saying is correct, right? But it is not always true. It has information plus noise, right? So if you see here, so we have information about what exactly is the data you are sharing, but we have a noise as well. So since now I didn't categorize the type of data, what exactly it is, right? So it's basically I didn't classify it, right? So I'm not saying it is a data of some business. I'm not saying it is a data of some uh, research. I'm not saying it's a data of some something like some of the companies, right? I'm just talking generally about what exactly the data is all about, right? So when I switch on the mic, there is a echo. That echo is acting as a noise, and that data might be of any type, right? So it is something like a communication data what we are sharing or exchange data what we are sharing information, right? So in that data we are having a noise. So data may be of any type. So what I want to communicate here is that data may be of any type, right? So if you are doing a data analysis, so in that data analysis you can take data of any type, right? It depends upon the segment in which you are dealing with. That is a secondary thing is coming. So if I want to define a data, the generalized definition is that data is something like which has some patterns and noise, right? There should be some pattern plus noise, right? So when you are doing a data analysis, what you are doing there, right? So it's something, I just don't think about a BDM right now. I'm just telling you the basic things and then I'll connect it to the BDM, right? So hope it is clear. All are fine with that. So it has a pattern plus noise, right? So what type of pattern it is? We don't know. Patterns are depending upon the type of data you have, right? So pattern will depend of type of data you have or type of segment of data you have. Suppose you have a data for research, you have a data for some technical thing, you have a data for some uh, business, right? You have a data for some uh, conversation, you have a data for sports, anything it can be, right? It has some pattern plus noise. So what as a data scientist you need to do, you need to find a pattern from a data. So what data scientists are doing, data analysts are doing, they are finding pattern from where they are finding a pattern. They are finding a pattern from data, right? It means if they want to find a pattern, what they have to do? They have to remove noise. So identification of noise. So this is a critical task. So it is something, if I can relate these things to your real life or our real life, so it means in our lifestyle, we know what our pattern it is all about. We know noise, what exactly it is all about, but we are not able to reduce the noise. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think in my desktop I lost a connection. Just let me see because otherwise this recording will stop.
Sir, you are muted if you are telling anything.
No, no, it's fine. I muted myself. So now I think it is visible. Okay. So how what exactly the quantification of noise will depend upon your data quality, right? So if you've seen when we are having conversation, I just unmute myself and there was an echo, but the echo levels are actually changing, right? So when the noise is more, the pattern will not be visible, right? So you won't be able to identify the pattern. So what you have to do, you have to reduce the noise. In machine learning, what exactly you are doing, you are just training your model, right? So you are training your model. If you have a less data set, suppose 200 sample points are there, suppose 2000 sample points are there. In 2000 sample point, 1000 sample points are something related to noise. then it won't be able to identify the exact pattern. That is why we are saying if you are just predicting something, you should have more data sets. Nearly suppose two lakh, yeah, 2 CR data points, then it will give us a exact trend, or it will show like what exactly the noise and what exactly the patterns you are having in your data, right? Now I'll touch up the other point is up to this, I think it is clear. You are able to know what exactly the definition of data is, right? Now I'll just go to the type of data. What are the type of data we have, right? Up to this is clear. Just give a thumbs up if it is clear. Okay, great. So now I'll come to the type of data. What type of data we have, right? I'll just slide it here a little bit. Okay, great. So first thing you know, like data is something it won't exactly, if you say data, it will not represent any of the classifications, right? So it might be from any of the sources. Now we can go for the data types. What are the data types out there? So there are multiple data types. The first thing is that we have a qualitative data. The other is that we have a quantitative data, right? So these are the basic categorization. We can also say this as a categorical data, and this we can say as a numerical data. Okay. Now there are other classification of the same data. If we can go in a deeper side, we can have a further classification of these in two ways and these also in two ways. So the first classification is the ordinal data. Here the other part come is the nominal data. I'll not go too much deep in this, right? I'll cover a basic things. And here it is a discrete, and here it is a continuous. So these are the basic classifications, right? So what type of data we have? We have a data type of categorical data and numerical data. So I'll just give you a example, right? So whatever we are sharing now, right? We are exchanging some information, right? From here you are getting something like some of the concrete information. Okay, what exactly is this? What exactly is this, right? So we are exchanging some type of data here. Okay. So before that, I'll just let you know what exactly the ordinal data is all about and what is the nominal data. Okay. So I'll come here as the ordinal data. I'll just make a table and then I'll explain what type of. Okay. So here I have a table, and in this table, from this table, I'll explain you uh, first and then I'll just go through that. So we have a data type, we have qualitative data, qualitative, and we have quantitative data, right? So here we have two things. So data type is something like you can take a nominal, right? You take ordinal, you take discrete, you take continuous, right? Okay. Along with that, I'll give you an example. So this is something like a scoreboard of cricket, a scoreboard which you are seeing for cricket. Here we have a scoreboard which is something like a, I will take an example of javelin throw, right? So these are the two scoreboards we have. Okay. Now I'll tell you what exactly the nominal data is all about. Right. So if we have some labels, only labels, right? There is no order. Okay. But we have labels and we have orders, right? So these are the nominal and ordinal data. So coming to the point, I'll just take these examples by after covering this particular point and explaining you with the example. So if you go for a shopping, right? If you go for a shopping and you're buying clothes, okay. So in the display, there are multiple things are displaying. Like if you just watch a hanger, there are some clothes, right? So multiple hangers are there. Okay. So just you want to buy a t-shirt, you will go to the t-shirt section and you can just see here. So there are multiple type of t-shirts, something like a polo, there are a round neck, there are uh, Mandarin collar, right? And multiple things are there. Okay. So when you are just going to buy, are you finding anything there like if he can put a polo somewhere, he can suppose in rack one, there is a suppose this is a rack one, there is a polo, this is a rack two, there is a polo, this is rack three, there is a suppose this is polo, this is a round neck, and this is Mandarin collar. Okay, so from here, you know you have the information about what type of t-shirts are there, right? There is no particular sequence of the t-shirts. You know, you have a t-shirts of polo in this particular showroom. You have a round neck and you have a Mandarin collar, right? So it is basically a qualitative information you are getting it from here. You don't have any further information. There is no particular sequence. In rack one, if you are putting polo, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if you are putting a polo. As of now, it doesn't matter, right? So if you are putting a round neck and you are exchanging round neck with a polo, right? So it doesn't matter. This pattern doesn't matter right now. So when there is a data which has only the labels, right? There is no order. There is no order of the labels, right? Then it is called as a nominal data. Okay. So I'll give you one more example of a nominal data. What type of nominal data we have, right? So suppose there are alphabets A, C, D, E, F, or we can say our mobile keypad is a K, W, E, R, T, Y. Right? So what exactly is this? There is some pattern, there is no pattern, right? So it doesn't matter like if they can give in the form of A, B, C, D, we will not type it. It doesn't mean for us, right? So if they give in the form of KWERTY, it is okay for us. If they can give in the form of ABCD, it is okay for us. It doesn't matter because we need to type it. After a certain period of time, we are frequent with the keys details like, okay, these are the keys set up and this is how we need to type it, right? So they don't have a particular sequence. Here, the sequence doesn't matter a lot, right? So in that case, it is a nominal data. Okay. But if we want to, if as a business point of view, I'll just connect here. Okay, just be careful. I'm connecting two things. So on a business point of view, right? If we want to maintain a particular inventory, if we want to know, okay, exactly what should be the location of the product is all about, so that it will be easy or it will be lesser time for a employee to arrange the things. Then what he can do, he can just categorize the thing. He can say, hey, in rack one, we should have only polo. In rack 2, we should have only Mandarin collar, right? In rack 3, we should have only round neck. So you can see a sequence is coming here, right? There is particular sequence here, right? So in this case, if there is a sequence, so it has a labels and it has a order, then it is called as ordinal data. So these both are coming in the form of qualitative data analysis, right? Now I am coming to discrete and continuous data. Okay. Okay. So I need this table now, or I can make it fresh here, so it will be easy for you to understand. All right. So up to this, it is clear. Give a thumbs up. I can go with the next categorization. That is a discrete and continuous. All right. Okay. So if I'll take a, I'm taking very simple example so that you all will able to understand cricket example and javelin throw example, because from this it will be easy for you all to understand what type of data exactly it is, right? So this is a scoreboard. The match is happening between India and Sri Lanka, or you can take Australia or New Zealand, whatever you want to take, right? So it's a scoreboard. Okay. So here we have runs. Here we have overs, right? Here we have Batman details. Here we have 4 and 6, and here we have average of Batmans, right? So suppose the runs are now 53. I forgot to mention one more thing. It's a wicket. That is the important thing, right? So we have suppose one wicket and 53 runs, and suppose it is 15 point. This is the over going on, right? We have two batsmen. You can choose your favorite. I am writing X and Y because otherwise it will be point of conflict. Some are liking Virat Kohli, some are liking Rohit Sharma, some are liking MS Dhoni. So I'll take X and Y. So you can fill these dots as per your requirement. Okay. So this is, suppose X is just betting at some numbers. Suppose I'm just giving a rough. So it is 25 and 25 both are betting at the same, right? Uh, so the counts of fours here are suppose 5. Okay. Here the count of 2 counts. Suppose I'm giving an example. Just don't take it seriously, right? Just I'm giving example. So suppose it is 4, right? The average strike average is something like he is having 100.3 strike rate. He is having suppose 50 strike rate. Okay. So now this is giving some information, right? This type of data is giving some numerical value, right? So it is basic, it comes under qualitative data analysis because you have some informations about numbers, right? You have some numbers in your hand, right? So when the numbers are in, it will not be in a fraction form or a point form. It is a discrete number like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So these are the discrete numbers. Okay. So in that sense, if we have a discrete number, so we can say it's a discrete data type, right? So if we just plot it, so if we just come up here, so 1 don't have something like 0.1, it don't have 0.2, it don't have 0.3, it is a fixed number. That is a discrete data type. There is no something like a point, a fraction are there, right? So 1 is something like a discrete number. And when we have, when the data includes fractions, right? Any type of data, any type of points. Suppose this is a curve, right? We have a fractions, we have a numbers, any type of data, any type of numbers we have, any type of numerical values we have, right? So then it is called a continuous. Okay, so I'll ask you all with the questions from this particular scoreboard, what you are seeing from here, what type of data we have in it's a disc, what in this, what is discrete data points and what are the continuous data points we have? Yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me. Unmute yourself
So
and tell me.
runs are discrete, right?
Okay,
And the average the rate that were whatever has been written, that those are continuous.
okay,
Can be
fine.
So wicket is also discrete.
Wicket is also discrete. Okay, what about the other information? Okay, fine. So I think you have understanding of discrete and continuous data analysis now. So when you are just taking a data from a business, you should be aware what type of data it is, right? So it is basically first you need to categorize the data. What are the qualitative information you have? What are the quantitative information you have, right? And what exactly you are focusing it here, want to focus in the project, right? Okay, so these are pretty important when you are going for the analysis because there is a different analysis when you are going for a qualitative data analysis and when you are going for a quantitative data analysis, right? So you should be aware of like what type of data you are having right now, right? With when you are approaching a business, right? So up to this, it is clear. Just give a thumbs up. Okay, great, great, good. So now I'll come to basically the points. So this data point is clear, type of data. Now I'll come to, yeah,
Sir, other two data points are also discrete, right? The
yeah.
two
So
data
here, if you
points
can
which are
see here, correct. So this is what exactly we have a discrete. This is what we have a discrete, right? This is what we have a continuous. This is continuous. This is discrete. So something like if I can give you, oh, sorry, I just forget to explain you the example of javelin throw. Okay. So when Nikhil Chopra he is just throwing a javelin, right? So in that
Sir,
sense, what happened?
hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, overs are discrete now.
Overs are continuous because we are getting 15.3.
But sir, I cannot get 15.31, 15.32, 15.34. I cannot get these values now.
That is fine. That is a like subcategorization. So if you can round up the values, right? 15.3, right? It is not exactly a 15, right? So if it
Yes,
is
sir.
a 15, like if you can see the computer logics are working, the AND or different type of gets, it is working on 0 and 1, right? So
Okay.
binary is it's 0 and 1. Only two numbers are there. There is no 0.5 and there is no 0.1, right? If you can go for 1,000 number of points after the fraction, right? So it is something like a fraction, right? So if you have a fraction, it is a continuous. If you
Okay.
don't have a fraction, if you have only non-fractional values, right, then it is a discrete.
Okay, sir.
Sir, but it can be counted, right?
It can be counted. Here also in nominal also you can have a counting as well, right? But might be the case, like if I can give you an example. So suppose in basically in uh, categorical data, right? We have a sequence. Suppose we are making a table or we are making something right here. When you are filling a form, right? When you are filling something like form of application or some form of to apply somewhere or any type of form. So there is some sequence. When it asks for your educational things. So first thing is your higher secondary, second senior secondary. third, your bachelor's, graduation. Fourth is something like PG. Fifth is further studies. So you can see here there is a numbering and there is a sequence, right? So this sequence means like it's a basically a type of data. What type of data you are thinking here? It has a sequence. It has a labels and it has a sequence. So it has the labels plus sequence or plus order. So what do you think this type of data it is? When we have a label and a sequence or order. Yeah, anyone? I have already
This is
explained you.
ordinal data, no, sir?
Correct. So I have already explained you it's a ordinal data. When we have a labels plus some sequence are there, but that sequence sometimes doesn't matter, right? So if you can just give a sequence of one for basically, if you can just give us some random sequence, but they are not adding a values to the data, right? In a sense, if I'm just writing, if something like this is for education, it is making some sense, right? But if I'm giving some numbers, so one for some like I'll just give one number for uh, Pratim. I'm just following the names, what is showing my in my screen. Second numbers is something like I can say Ashwin Kumar, right? Third is something like I'm giving Bhumika, right? So I'm giving the numbers, right? I'm giving some sequence, but this sequence adding some values, it is not adding some values. I'm just writing a numbers. I'm taking it and I'm writing it here, right? So it doesn't quantify anything. It doesn't make any sense. It is just only for my convenience. I'm just giving a number so that in case if it is required in the future, I can just point out the numbers and I can see the numbers and from that numbers I can point it out. Right. But if this sequence matters, if these labels, if I'll say I'll take a questions in a sequence wise, all right. So in that case, the sequence matters a lot. So I'm going with the sequence. So it make some sense, right? These numbers make some sense. Then we can say it's a ordinal. Otherwise, it's a nominal data. I'll give you one more example. That is a mess, right? If you are just going to the institute, there, I think 11 messes are there, right? Four are South Indian and five are North Indian messes. Okay. So suppose the mess names are X, Y, Z, U, V. Okay. So this is what exactly the information you have. So this is something like a nominal data where you have only the information. You don't know any sequence, right? Now, when you are going deeper in that, right, when you are just categorizing the messes, like based on the rating of a student, right, based on the rating, you categorize, okay, the mess one, the top mess is suppose X, the other mess is suppose Z, right? After then it is coming A, if it is coming B. So they have a particular sequence, they have some meaning in that, right? Then we can say, okay, this is ordinal data. Now I'll combine this with concrete and continuous and discrete, right? So if I will say in these messes, the number of registration I'll take. Suppose the mess X, which is the top mess at IIT Madras, has 530 registration. I can't say like it is something 530.5. One student is halfly registered. I can't say this, right? It is half registered in the mess. I can't say this. Either he has to be registered or he has he don't have to register, right? He opt for other mess. Then it should be a discrete. We are giving 535 registrations are there in this particular month, right? Then it is a discrete. Okay. And when it comes to the continuous, I'll say uh, they are taking the mass wastage is nearly 35.6 kg per day. Okay. So the wastage of the mass is something like Yeah. Okay. I'm audible. I'm not sure what is happening with the internet connection. Usually in Sunday we face the issue in internet. Okay. I think it is visible. Yeah. So I was giving an example of a mess. I think up to what point it was I was audible or I was there with you all. I'll repeat the example one more time. I'm just giving example of institute mess, right? Where I'm saying like we have nearly 11 messes in IIT, right? So it's 11 mess in IIT. Okay. And suppose we are giving a numbers of mess, suppose A, C, D, X, Y, Z, dot, dot, dot. So these are the messes we have. Okay. So up to this, we told these are the, we have given the label for the messes. Label is A. So these are the labels we have given. Right. We are not saying here, we are not giving any priority or any numbers or any sequence here till now. So this is comes under your nominal data. Okay. So this comes under nominal data. Okay. So now in the second step, what we are doing, we are saying on the basis of rating, we are saying mess X come first, then A, then D, then Z, and then Y and Z. So this is on the priority list. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? So now what we are doing, we are just giving a labels. We are giving a labels as well as we are just giving some information, right? So here we are saying we are categorizing based on some numbers, right? Then we can say it's ordinal data. Here, up to here, we don't have any information. But on the basis of student rating, we are saying the performance of mess X is top, then comes D, A, D, and C. So this comes under ordinal data. Now, I'll combine the part that is your discrete and continuous. So if I'll say in, I'll say number X, A, D, and Z, and Y. Okay. I'll say, I'll just categorize now based on registration. Registration. Let's say in X, there are suppose 350 registration. In Y, there are 450 registration. In D, there are 300 registration. In Y, there are 250 registration. So we are giving some numerical values here, right? These numerical values, I can't say like there are 350.5 students, or I can't say 350 and a half students are registered, right? So I can't say like this. I can't say one student is halfly registered in this X mess, half registered 0.5 and half registered in this one. I can't say this thing, right? So the registration are something like a discrete. If it comes in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it should not come under continuous variable, right? So in that sense, this is something like we are representing, we are giving some numerical values to the masses and it comes under your discrete. Now, I'll come to the next point is something like we have same X, Y, X, A, T, Z, and Y, right? Now, if I'm just categorizing them in the form of wastage, that is a food wastage. So if I'm saying on an average, on an average, suppose 34.5 kg per day is a wastage for this mess. If you can say here, suppose 50.8 kg per day. I can go here. So suppose it is 25 kg per day, right? Now I can take a fraction values. What I can do, I can take a weighing machine, I can put a bucket of wastage, sorry, and I can measure it here. If you're measuring your weight, right, it is basically what type of data it is.
Continuous.
Correct. So you are getting an idea of continuous and discrete. So if you are measuring support, it is showing 34.5. When you are going to the airport, I'll give you a good example. When you are going to the airport, you are having a luggage. So before going to the airport, you are just measuring the luggage, right? It should not go 15.2. It should not go 15.8. It should not go 15 point or 17.5 kg. It should be 15 kg. If it is more than greater than 15 kg, whether it is 15.1, 15.2 or 17.1, it will comes under overweighted, right? So they will charge you. So what you are doing when you are going to the airport, you're just trying to measure the weight in advance, right? So it should be nearly 15 kg. So 15 here is a discrete, and these are the continuous data you have. You got my point? Okay, great. I hope it is clear to all. If you have any questions, you can just ask me, and then I can just move ahead. If don't have any question, I'm happy that you people are getting something from this session today. And yeah, and I'll share you the feedback so that you can just input it there.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, yeah, tell me.
Sir, I have a doubt. Like the grades that we get for a project, they are
Okay.
ordinary, right? S grade, A grade, B grade, and the other things. Marks
Hmm.
according to that, they will coming under continuous.
They have a sequence. If you consider only the grade, but you are not saying like if I am getting a grade, it is the ordinal.
Okay.
It because the grades have some values. So if you say S has some values, if you come, if your numbers are beyond 90, then you are getting S grade,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you go for a sequence, right, S, A, B, C, D, E, so there is some, you can't go for from S to C directly. You have to follow some sequence.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
But that sequence, if you go in depth, that sequence has some values. Suppose if it is a F grade, you should have 90 numbers, you should have 80 numbers, or you should have 50 numbers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, sir.
So in that sense, you can say, yeah, you can compare that sense.
Okay.
So there are multiple ways where you can just compare your data and you can find it out. It is pretty interesting activity. Even when you are getting a data, it is pretty interesting. When you are measuring a temperature, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
temperature is not something like a discrete. It is a continuous because sometimes temperature is 34.5,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes the temperature is different.
Yes, sir.
So you can't say the temperature is same every time or it is a discrete only,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So these are the things. Any more doubts?
Sir, Prasad here. Good evening.
Yeah, 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 Prashant. Good evening.
Sir, actually, I have completed my BDM. BDM
Uh-huh.
project is, I have submitted the project and it is rejected. So actually,
Prasad, I just covering some of the things. Just as I told, you can wait for some time. I'll
sure,
just
sir.
take a question.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll wait.
So I have shared the feedback form. You can fill what exactly the next topic you are looking for, and I just complete.
Sir, you are not audible.
So yeah, so I'll just one more thing. I'll just complete it here, and then we can just go for a question and answer. So till now, whatever we have studied, we didn't discuss anything about what segment of data it is. So like basically data is from everywhere. If you are a data analyst, right? If you are just working on some data analysis companies, right? So there might be the cases like sometime you are getting a business data, right? Sometime you are getting a tech data. Sometime you are getting a R&D data, right? Or some companies data or some open source data. So uh, it doesn't mean like if you are just doing a degree in BS in data science, you should be stick with some particular domain of data. You don't know what type of data you will get it from there, right? If you are just working in some company, the company data might be different from whatever you are reading here, right? The thing is that you need to learn the concept and then you have to come with the analysis approach. Okay, this is basically my analysis approach. And in like we have a discrete and continuous thing, how you can apply the data or analysis approach in that particular segment. You need to think about it, right? So I'll come to the other point, how to identify the business problem for unstructured businesses, right? So there are
So
multiple things. Yeah.
I have a question. Like, if till now we were focusing on the quantitative data only for this
Mm-hmm.
BDM project,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say we have qualitative data also for, and we have to convert it into quantitative data to work. So will that also work?
That your project will not solely depend upon the qualitative data analysis. It should contain a numerical values as well, right? Your one of the problem statement might be like you are taking a survey, right? You are taking a survey,
Yes.
you are generating some information. So that you can include as one of the problem statement, but your whole project will not depend upon only the qualitative data analysis, right?
Okay.
Okay,
So
so I'll
we can
just,
include it, right?
yeah, you can include. But it should not be that is what I told, whole project should not be, and it depends like what type of approach you are using it here, right? Okay, so I'll just come to the unstructured businesses problem. So there are multiple problems which you think are there for unstructured businesses. I'll show this is images I showed it previously also in the previous session. So okay, so after seeing this image, what exactly you are thinking about in terms of business, what you are thinking about? Just share your inputs and thoughts.
Unorganized.
Okay.
No proper record of selling of products.
Wastages,
No database.
wastages in inventory wastages.
Yeah,
Correct.
overstocking.
Overstocking. Good.
Difference in prices.
Seems like a wholesale
Uh,
market.
Fluctuation. Okay. Wholesale
High
market is a category
competition.
of that thing. Yeah.
So vegetable vendor.
Okay. I'm just thinking about a problem you are finding out. It's from this image, right? What exactly you
So
think?
irregular.
Sir, they will get loans with high interest rate and they have to pay daily interest
Okay.
for running their business.
irre- so irregular accounting.
A price sensitive market.
You
Price
have
sensitive.
multiple players giving the same services or products, and how can you be competent and
So it's competitiveness of the market.
yeah.
Role of middlemen.
Role of middleman. Can you elaborate this? What you want to say from this?
Yes, sir. If she is a retailer, she is purchasing from the wholesale person and then she is selling it at her own price. So the price that she should sell is being decided by the middleman, and we actually can't predict at what
Correct.
price they have got it from the farmer.
Okay.
So
Great.
farmer might
Great.
have given them.
High price sensitivity.
I think I have covered plus price fluctuation. I've covered it already. Yes, some more.
A business data collection need not necessarily happen from a sophisticated company or business. It can happen from a very unorganized ground level business as well.
Source data collection, I will write. From the
I
source, they are
think there will
collecting
be
the
a
data.
presence of self-help groups also in this kind of setup.
Okay. Oh, great. Nice observation. Group wise,
Self-help groups like those
groups wise organization of
and all
business,
those
right?
even and all those will come in picture here.
Right. Some more.
No proper storage.
No storage.
Locally available products. Majority.
Can you just let me know like what you are thinking about more on this point?
Pardon, sir?
It's not reliable due to seasonal conditions. Maybe sometime it might be flooded or something.
Okay.
Customer acquisition.
Unregistered.
Data manipulation.
How? This is an interesting point.
Not secure.
How? Now, let me confirm with the data manipulation point. I'm not sure who said it, but it is a good point. I want to know.
It's something
Weight
regarding
manipulations. Weight
I
manipulations.
think it is also subject to variety of customers like hotels
Okay.
and like the back end team for the big basket kind of people and the regular kind of customers. So the customer base is very varied over here.
Okay. Okay. Great. Anything is coming except these points on your mind?
The owner is the employee.
Owner is the employee. Partially, you can say.
Maybe data is date. I think the way they organize their data probably.
Okay.
sir.
Don't think about
They
critical
don't
points
have
like
any
data. Just see the
specific.
image and just identify the problem.
The produce rate is fixed by the market, right? The wholesale market per se.
Fixed price variation with respect to commodity.
So
No
too
That
product
is what.
much.
security.
So too
Yeah.
much competition.
Okay. That I think I've already covered. Competition.
No product security, sir.
Okay.
Sir, perfectly competitive market.
Okay. Great. So now I'll come to the point. After seeing one image, right? How many businesses problem you people have find it out here? You see the domain of a business. I think nearly 20 plus business problems are find out from the image itself, right? So suppose if you are going to the business, you are in front of the business, you are seeing what exactly the business is all about, right? Then there might be the cases you are able to find out more than the problem you are given here, right? So that is why when you are going to the business, you should be aware of the localities, you should be aware of basically the problems what the business is facing on. And so this is something like unorganized business, right? So unorganized business, when you are seeing the business, you are able to identify 5 to 10 problem statement immediately, right? As you have seen in the images. And there are multiple problem statements. So it is not something like if you don't have a capability to find out the problem statement, right? So you all have a capability to find out, but the thing is that how it is coming, it is something like when I showed you an image, you visualize that image, and then you are able to just very precisely you are finding it out from the image what exactly the problems are there, right? So I'll just give you one more image. Okay, suppose I'll give you one this image. Okay, this one. Yeah, what you are thinking about this image?
Proper stocking of the items as per the criteria must be there firstly because this looks so clumsy, sir, actually.
No inventory management system.
Mm.
In
True.
which I can say image A and image B. You just let me
Yes,
know.
sir.
Yes,
Image.
let's go with A. No,
No inventory.
Yeah, no inventory management system.
No labels. No labels having. No particular
Correct.
labels.
So no.
No labels. Yeah.
Billing has to be done, sir.
Sorry.
Proper billing has to be
Unorganized. Products
Unorganized.
are unorganized.
Unorganized. Unorganized. Yeah. Some more.
The
Obviously,
products are not categorized in different groups they belongs to, like.
So
Okay.
nominal data.
How you can say it's a nominal?
Wastage
In
of
which you are
time.
saying a nominal data? In which you are saying a nominal data? Is there will be any labels on the data?
So I think both of them are nominal data. Sir.
Okay.
Risks of
Great.
damaging the product.
Damaging the product. Correct.
Waste of time whenever you need to find something out of that.
That is a good point. I'm expecting this one.
Add labor cost as like to manage.
Labor cost. Additional cost. I'll write. Okay. Fine.
So poor presentation of the sort, like the customers will not get interested to buy.
Okay. So jumping from this image, I'm just jumping to this image. Okay. Yeah. So when you're going for a shopping, which store you prefer? Like the store, this one, this is suppose B, and the store, this is. I'm just saying like this is suppose A, and this is B, right? So which store would you prefer when you're going for a shopping?
A,
B,
obviously.
A.
well
A.
stocked, first one.
Okay. Why A?
It is categorized.
Well
Well
organized.
stocked, and the item seems to be fresh, and they have good supply of the items also.
Okay.
Proper management.
Great.
A
And
lot
it's
of
easy to
variety
pick
also.
what we want. It's easy to pick because these are properly organized. We can simply go there and
It
grab.
has good footfall.
Options are
Okay.
also available. Like if I don't wish to go with any one of the product, I have another availability also. So
Great.
options.
Means variety of substitutes are there.
Okay. What about you think about this image? I hope this it is not you're not getting bored, right? Because I just want to communicate and I want to listen from you, and then I just find out the session. So this is the final touch I'm giving. I hope you
Wide
all are
range
not
of
getting bored.
items.
They are welcoming. They seem
Correct.
to be very welcoming.
Here I can get on credit basis, but the previous store I think I'll not be able to get on credit basis. I need to pay immediately after getting the goods, sir.
I think what is interesting over here, here you get micro packets. Like there, you have to buy 500 gram of Horlicks. You will get sachets.
Yeah, these
Okay.
are a low value like a
Low
small,
value items
yeah,
are sold there.
low value items.
And in that tiny
Okay.
space, you
Great.
talk a lot.
Here you will
Okay.
purchase what you actually need.
Only, sir.
And it must
You
have
can
been very
directly
close to
interact
home.
with the owner of
It's
the
like
shop,
convenient.
and there
It's
in
easy
the
to figure out.
malls you can not directly.
Great. I hope you people are also feeling good when you are engaging and you are just sharing your thoughts, right? So I don't want to just make a PPT and I want to explain you with the PPT. I'm not that type of guy. Basically, I want to have interaction with you guys so that you can understand from the images, from the pictures, from the visualization, right? So you will have more understanding. The main motive of this thing is that to identify a business problem, right? So if you go on the top, right? So you have seen a multiple images, right? 3 to 4 images you have seen, and you identify business problem by your own. So it is not something like I suggested. I'm not suggesting anything till now to you, right? But you itself are finding. You see this image, right? How many business problem you have find it out from a single image, right? So if I'm coming to unstructured businesses, there is a huge overlap. What exactly you are finding it out, right? So this is what a theoretical thing I'm saying, but you have identified from visualization, right? So inventory management, you have identified inventory management problem was there, right? In the images. Price inconsistencies, it is there, right? Customer experience, it is there. Operational efficiencies, right? It is there because it is not well organized, right? So you are finding operational efficiency. So suppose there is a image, there was an image where you have some random packets putting up here, and you have an image where everything is in a sequence, right? This product, this. So you are able to find it out, right? Properly. You also find it out data analytics limitation because if you see the small vendors, right, so a small shopkeeper who is selling the vegetables and these things, but they don't have a proper data saving or proper data analytics things, right? So it's basically an organized sector of a business. There is a problem in the supply chain. That is what you identified from the previous image as well. Customer engagement from that two ladies are just interacting with the customer. You said like they are more welcoming to the customer, right? So these are the business problems. This is how you have to find out the business problem. It's not something like a hard and fast rule, right? It's not something like a theory, or it's not something like a basically a algorithm or methods where you need to just input things and you have to find out the business problem. So so how this is coming? This is coming when you are visualizing the things. So here you are visualizing the things with the help of image, right? There you have, when you are going to the business owner, you are interacting with the business owner, right? And you are just having, he's giving the data. If you visualize that data, then you are able to identify, okay, these are the main problems are happening in the business, right? So this is how you have to identify a business problem. I hope it is clear till now. Just give a thumbs up. I'll just go to the last section of this particular topic, and then I can take your questions. Just do fill the feedback form so that I'll able to understand what exactly you people are looking in the next session. So I and Dr. Ashwin will just plan something on that. I'm not sure you are getting a form. Why it is getting disconnected again and again? Did you receive the form?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm frequently I'm getting disconnected in my desktop. I don't know what happens on Sunday because it's a holiday and there is a huge rush for the so it is disconnecting. Yeah. Okay, so I'll come to one more section that's important, right? That is something like a metadata. Okay. So this is the main thing, like some of you are facing it out, what exactly metadata is all about, right? Okay. So I'll just show you this image. What you are thinking from this image. So I'll just give you an example, right? After that, I'll just start it. So how the images are forming. I'm just giving you an example. From this, I'll connect the importance of data point. Right. So if there is an image, right? If you don't have, suppose you have a matrix of nearly 10 cross 10, right? So what happened in this 10 cross 10 matrix? If you just previously, I think like when we are just taking an image, the image are not much clear, right? So there is that are sometimes the images are blurred, sometimes the images are not clear, right? So this is happening too frequently, right? We are not getting a perfect image. So what you are seeing, the camera quality is not good. We need more pixel camera. So what these pixels are meaning of? So if you have a image, it is just capturing basically the colors and it is appointing in the matrix, right? So if you don't have, if you have a 10 cross 10, there might be the case these boxes are pretty far. So in that sense, you don't have a quality in image. But if you want, if this is basically the same area, if you want to just get a good image, you need to define the matrix, right? So previously it was 10 cross 10. Now you have to make from 1000 cross 1000. Right? Now it is not clear. Now you have to go. So it's 6 megapixel. Right? If you are going for 25 megapixel, 30 megapixel, what exactly it means? It means the matrix you are forming in an image, it has that many millions or billions of data points. So how many data points are there? The image will be more accurate, right? So if I'm showing you this image, it is getting blurred, right? Why it is getting blurred? Because we don't have multiple data points. I'm just zooming it and it is just not able to connect it properly, right? So similar way, now I'll connect this with data, number of data points. So a lot of students are asking, sir, too much data is sufficient? So if too much data is, you have only too much data, suppose, right? If you are coming in this case, you have only limited data points, you won't be able to predict what exactly is happening. If you have 1,000 data points, then you can say, okay, you will get a line. So if I want to plot a line, I have only 2 data points. I can't say it is a straight line. There might be the case here, we have a multiple points which are going like this, like this. We don't know anything. But if you have 3 points, you can say, okay, 3 points, you're joining it here. Now you can go and you can say, I have 10 points. 10 points are similar to this. The end point is same, but 10 points are similar to this. Or 10 points in this, something is coming. Right. So you can go this way also. You can go this way also. Right. But you have 1,000 points. You are able to say, okay, my trend is something like this. It is so like initially you are saying like it is, you are not confident to say it is a straight line, and you plotted 2 data point and say it's a straight line. But this was wrong because you have a lot of fluctuation here. That is, you are not able to capture if you have less number of data points. Right? So that is why the number of data points or number of samples which you are going to plot or which you are going to take from a company or business or organization or for your analysis, right? The data point, number of data points plays an important role, right? So you should be careful when you are taking a data points. Now coming to this image. So this is what exactly your metadata. If you just go with the property of an image, if you just explore it, what with this image, are you able to say anything? Only if I can give you an image, you can't say much of the things about the image properties. But if I'll just give you information, okay, so here you can say what exactly the nomenclature of the image was. It is in which format? It is in JPG format, it's in PDF format, it is in PNG format, what format the image is all about, right? What exactly the size of the image, right? Additional information, when it is created today, it is created today, tomorrow, at what time, right? When you have modified the image. So if you have a data, right? If you have a data, you have taken a data, but the data, when you are just going to analyze the data, right? You are just doing a data cleaning, everything you are doing. So what type of data cleaning you are doing? You have to explain. If you have 50 number of variables, right? Amongst 50, you are jumping, you are doing analysis only for 2 or suppose 5 number of variables. In your in your proposal, you are saying I have 50 variables, but in your final, you are saying I am having 2 variables. You are plotting only 2 variables, and your report get rejected. Then you say, sir, my report get rejected. Why is it so? It happens because initially you have 50 points, and in your final you are saying only 2 points. Obviously, it will get rejected, right? So in this there is some process from 50 points coming to 2 points or 10 points or 5 points. There is some process which you are doing, but I don't know what exactly you are doing. Just mute yourself, please. RH, yeah. You don't know what exactly you are doing in between, right? So that is something like is important here, which you have to explain. In between this process, I'm doing this activity, and with this activity, I'm just removing 30 data points. On what basis you are removing, that you have to write it here. And the details of the variables is something comes in a metadata. If you are making a table, right? If you are making a table of nearly 50 variables, so what that 50 variables means, suppose here you have a transaction, here you have date, right? Here you have GST detail, if it is B2B or B2C, right? Uh, okay. Here you have some other detail. So what exactly these details means, the TAs don't know. So that is what is coming in a metadata. You have to explain everything about your data, what exactly your data representing, right? So with this image, you can see like they have all the informations about the data, what type of data it is, where it is generated, when it is generated, how many data points are there, what everything is there, right? So similarly, you have to give all the details of your data, right? Now I'll come to other image. Okay. So this is another image. If you see how clearly with this image only, you won't be able to identify anything. If I can give you only this image, you can say what image it is. I'm not able to identify what is the type of image it is, right? So if I'll just if you just give this image, there is a task, nobody will able to identify, right? But once you give these details of the image of the data, so image you can consider this as a data. When you are giving details of the image in the form of data, then the other person will able to know, okay, this image signifies this particular things. The data in your image, what exactly the person is there, if something like a data, he will be able to uh, find it out, like they are able to find it out what exactly it is all about, right? So this is something like is coming in a metadata section. And yeah, so I'll come here. So this is something like a table. If you can say, I've given example of table where you can see a data, right? But you don't know what exactly the data is all about. What is employee ID, first name, last name, minimum, what exactly is the minimum, and what is departmental ID, right? What type of it is, like it is a discrete, it is a continuous, right? It is a basically ordinal, or it is nominal, what type of data it is. So you can see here they have clearly written here, employee ID is basically a type of data type is integer, right? What exactly is it described, right? Where it is. So they have given all the description here in the table itself. You are able to identify from the table, right? What type of data it is, where it is, what exactly it signifies, what else you have in your data. So from, if you can see this data, you are able to identify, okay, what exactly will be your data is saying. The other person will able to identify. Otherwise, it is very difficult for them to identify. With this concept, I'll just wind up the session for today, and I'll take the questions. Don't worry. I just completed the theoretical part. I'll just start with your question and answer. Maybe you can just fill the feedbacks. Just give me 5 minutes so that I can have some water, and just I'll come back. Meanwhile, you all will just fill the feedbacks so that it will help us to plan the further sessions.
So
Sir,
will
could
the
you please
recording be
zoom
shared?
this relational database? Could you please zoom in, sir?
Sorry.
Could you please zoom this slide, sir, a little bit?
Yeah, I'll zoom it for you all, and then I'll
So will
take
the recording
5 minutes.
be shared?
Yeah, I think a recording will be shared, but there is some disconnection in between the recording. I'm not sure which part is available in the recording, which part is not available in the recording. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, I'll share the recording.
Sir, could you share your ID if possible?
You'll get my ID via email. I'm frequently sending emails, and in the documents also my ID is there, right? So you can get it from there itself. I'll write it here as well. Those who are new, you you should be aware of a course. It's like a faculty email ID, right? Okay, fine. So now I'll take 5 minutes break. So I just request you all to just fill the feedback forms. Otherwise, it is very difficult for us to understand. So this is why I have taken the session, because in the previous feedback form I got the reviews from you all, like this basic things about the data, and these things detail will be there. A session will be there. It will be useful. That is why we have a session, and we are planning to have a stats session as well. If you just input the details, we'll just plan it accordingly, because we don't know up to what level you have studied the stats, and if we are able to know, we can able to plan. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with these concepts, now I'll just go to your questions, right? And hope just give me a uh, basically thumbs up about how the session was. It was good. I tried to correlate the things with your real life problems, right? So I might be thinking like you are able to correlate the things, right? Yeah. So great. Okay, I'll take the questions now, and then we can wind up the session. So I think, yeah, I